If you're feeling lost in life, there's a very good chance that you have work to do. You see, as adults, we often focus on only our jobs and making money as the primary motivators in life. Each one of us, though, has a life that has the potential to be fully realized. It's not enough to just live in the rat race of eat, sleep, work, and weekends. When you're lost in life, there's work to do. But what is the work? The short answer is do more you. Hey there. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tim Tamashiro. I am the author of How to Ikigai. I've been doing what I love to do and what I'm good at since I was 21 years old, and that is a lot of hair ago. This channel is all about Ikigai and balancing all your success with your joy. So I'm here to help you do more you. When you were born, you had work to do. In fact, throughout your childhood, you instinctively knew what your work was. As an infant, you had work to do. Your work was to be. And the only thing you had to do as an infant was survive between poops and pees and food. Everything else was taken care of you by mom and dad. They took care of all of your needs, in fact. Then as you grew older, you became a toddler. Your work as a toddler was to do. So you could crawl and work and get around. You could really explore the world around you. It was exciting. You gained the ability to see what consequences were, and it consumed you. So you tried everything that your little toddler brain inspired you to do. You tasted glue. You stuck your hand in the spaghetti and then on the wall. You might have even tried cutting your own hair. But as you explored, you learned that some things were nice to experience and other things weren't. You began to understand this idea of consequences. But you did your work with enthusiasm. You wanted to do more you. Then as you entered your first years of school, your work changed again. Your work as a young student was to follow rules. When your teachers or other grown-ups showed the rules to you, you followed them as closely as you could. Those were the boundaries. You were a bit of a rule mule back then. Your work, though, helped you fit in as a piece of your little world, and the rules made sense to you. A few years later, you hit puberty. And there were a lot of things happening in your body and brain when you hit puberty. This could have been a very confusing time for you. There were a lot of things happening in your body and brain. But as far as your work was concerned, the main task was to be seen. A teenager's body and brain are entering a time when it's getting ready to reproduce. So being seen by as many prospective partners as possible is your way of attracting and finding a potential partner. So everything that was happening to you comes from ancient caveman, cavewoman stuff. The reason for it happening was purely survival. And then in high school, you started to experience some freedom in your life, and you were older and wiser. You were starting to really do more you. You still had a lot of exploring to do, but you also knew that you had work to do. Your work as an older teenager, though, was to make space between yourself and your parents. You were preparing to enter the world of grown-ups. So you were able to do things like stay out later or begin driving or get your first part-time job. You were gathering evidence for yourself and your parents that you were ready to leave the nest. When you graduated from high school, typically that's where your work became confusing. But you still had work to do. Grown-ups, you see, started asking probably the world's hardest question. What are you going to do now? Your life until graduation prepared you for no such decision, though. Society has this belief that we'll be ready to make the ultimate decision of choosing and following through on a meaningful career or life, but the fact remains that at 17 or 18 years old, you don't have the evidence. Everything in your life has been dictated by the work that you've done naturally, but also by what the adults said the rules and directions needed to be. So what is your work when you're old enough to go out into the world then? Well, it turns out that you have work to do as an adult too. You have to do more you. Just like you had stages of work that you did as a child growing up, you also have work as an adult. Psychologist Carl Jung theorized that you have 4 stages of adulthood. The first stage of adulthood starts when you're young and beautiful and capable of amazing physical feats. At say 18 years old to maybe 28, you are an athlete. You are strong and capable. You're able to do anything you wish physically in order to find your way through the world with your friends. Everything is about your body and your beauty when you're an athlete. You're young and eager to take on the world, and as an athlete, you can really get out there and do more you, physically. Then, as you grow older, your work changes again. you eventually morph from an athlete into a warrior. Your work as a warrior transforms from being all about your body to being all about your ability. A warrior really wants to kick ass on something specifically. You want to show the world that you're absolutely the best at something, be it business, art, a trade, or science. A warrior wants to prove to the world that they are the absolute best at a certain task, and they'll do battle at any and all opportunities that come available to ensure that they're known for their ability to kick butt in their chosen field. If you're a warrior, you want to prove that you can do more you. So you gain knowledge and experience through your life, and then your work changes again. Carl Jung describes the stage that comes after the warrior as the statement stage. I choose to call this stage something different. I call this stage the senator. As a senator, you are at a time in your life where you're absolutely aware of the abilities that you have in your field of expertise. You've learned a lot about life, and you're aware of context and circumstance. You know that you are personally capable of doing amazing things, and you know that you're capable of doing it all over again as well. Senators understand their capabilities intimately, but instead of continuing to prove themselves like they did when they were in their warrior stage, their point of view changes. Instead, they ask, what can I do to help you do more you? The fourth stage of adulthood, according to Carl Jung, is the spirit. Now, this is the time of life where you start wondering what is next in your journey. Your life has reached a time of reflection and repose. You're more relaxed about life in general. You've reached the point where you're preparing for whatever comes next, whatever that could be. So you are an energy living a human experience. Your perspective of life is allowing you to peek into the next place. So you have the athlete, the warrior, the senator, and the spirit. Those are the four stages of adulthood. Now, if you're feeling lost in life, then it just means that you have work to do in whatever stage you're at. Your work is to do more you to fully realize your full potential during this very short life of yours. Explore all the things in life that fascinate you. Share more meaningful moments with the people that you love. Take control of your time and do what you want with it. Become time affluent. Remember, your time is a diminishing asset. Be kind to yourself and to others. Learn the lessons that life is trying to teach you, or you have to take the lesson all over again. Seek more laughter in your life. If you're feeling lost in life, just be mindful that your whole life is for exploring the ways that you can have more joy and contentment every day. Every minute that you are lost, your work is to find.